Hello, beautiful people. Francie Carlin here, your language coordinator for slide 2 of the George story. So nobody else is with me on the call yet, so no problem. I know how busy you all are. My voice is a bit hoarse because I just taught 3 consecutive hours of George stories. But it's been so much fun up here at Packway. That's where I am. So, if we're not going to get an audience, no problem. We're just going to do it anyway. Um, okay. Da-da-da-da. So I'm going to share with you um, my screen. Share. There we go. Yep. There we go. That's it. Oops, wrong button. And here are the George stories for today, slide 2. Now, I am progressing here probably significantly faster than you would. So I'm practicing these George slides with students at Packway Elementary, and I have an hour with them, even an hour 10, an hour 15. So if you don't have that much time, you're going to not have introduced Paula La Pizza already. You're not going to be able to get into Grand et Petit. So take what I'm doing here with a big grain of salt, of course, and simply progress at the pace that you are comfortable with, that your students are comfortable with. The point of this work is not to go fast. In fact, the art of this work is to go nice and slow while keeping it engaging, interesting, compelling, and of course, comprehensible. So, and of course, our goal is to be a magical communicator. Have that in front of you at all times. It's not about tenses, verbs, conjugation, endings of words, pronunciation. It's not about any of this. It's all about being a magical communicator. So, today I had 1 out of 3 classes that were ready to actually start class with a song, because with the other classes, we're just not quite there yet. So you can bring in this song whenever you're ready for it. It goes like this. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour, mes amis, bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. For the life of me, I cannot remember where this melody comes from. If you do, please let me know. But it's just this simple little ditty. And of course, you can translate it with them. You can have half of the class sing it, the other half of the class sing it. You can go by boys or girls if you want to go into that binary. You can have whisper it. You can have, sing it like Elton John. You can do this song over and over again. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis, bonjour. Bonjour, mes amis. Bonjour, mes amis. Bonjour, mes amis. Bonjour. You can spend, easily 4 or 5 minutes just singing that song a couple of times without it getting boring. This is one thing I learned from Craig Sheehy, the master TPR's teacher, is cut it off too soon is better than cutting it off too late, meaning move on to the next activity before they get tired. You could also, and introduce, how are you? How are you? Ça va? Ça va? And very likely in your second class, you're not going to have students ready for that, quite ready for that yet. Ça va? How are you? And I could just ask the class, ça va? And then you can say, oh, je suis heureux. Je suis heureux. Je suis heureuse. So heureux, heureuse is the male, heureuse is the female version. So you could model that. You can just simply have it out, but don't enforce it. So don't become, um, somehow concerned about whether heureux or heureuse. Just have both of them up, and you can make the right choice. Don't enforce it with the students. Alors, je suis heureuse. Show me a sign for heureuse. Oui, heureuse. Je suis heureuse. I am happy. Je suis heureuse. Classe. Je suis. Oh, je suis fatiguée. fatiguée. Oh oui, je suis fatiguée. Oh, je suis fatiguée. Je suis heureuse et je suis fatiguée. Classe, je suis anxieuse. Je suis anxieuse. Je suis anxieuse, oui. Je suis heureuse, fatiguée et anxieuse. Alors, and you can go from here and have the key word up. Hein, qui, ou, qui est heureux? Okay, so raise your hand, levez la main. Qui est fatigué? Oh, oh. Qui est anxieux? Huh? And we don't have to go into reasons at this time. They wouldn't have the language yet. You may not even have the language for that yet, and that's fine. We can just take a poll. Okay, je suis heureux, je suis fatiguée, je suis anxieuse. In the TPRS folder. So this is our shared district French resources. You find a link to this folder in my ST73 under second languages, or and I don't have it with me, but it's that little flyer teaching French in ST73 that should have been distributed to you at the beginning of this school year. There are QR codes in that little flyer that link you to this page. So this is our shared French district resources. You go into the TPRS folder. Anything and everything I show in this PowerPoint can be found here. Oui, c'est ça. Alors, let's go back, including this slide here, including even, I will be adding a video on how to do feelings of the day, but again, this is fairly, maybe not exactly in class 2, but for us today, I'm introducing this now. And you can then expand on it. Eventually, you can start giving reasons, but not in lesson 1 or 2. And at this point in my class, I would probably do some TPR with them. TPR stands for Total Physical Response. It was developed by John Asher, Dr. Asher, in the 70s. So it's been field tested, and it's brilliant at the beginning of the school year. It's brilliant to use this with, especially if you have a class that is a little bit more kinesthetic, movement and motion focused. So with TPR, and again, that is in our shared Google folder under, where do I have it? Any student? Anyway, it's somewhere in here. I don't want to spend time on it. It's in here. It's called TPR. TPR. It's not TPRS, huh? It's TPR. Yeah, I don't want to spend time on this, but it's here, the TPR instructions. So I would give you instructions on what to do in class with the students. So I would say, for example, everybody, tout le monde, lève-toi. And you model it. Tout le monde, assieds-toi. Tout le monde, lève-toi. I do this fast now. Tout le monde, assieds-toi. Tout le monde, lève-toi. Tout le monde, assieds-toi. You see where I'm going with this. And then you can add tout le monde, marche. And you walk. Tout le monde, arrête. Tout le monde, assieds-toi. Tout le monde, lève-toi. Tout le monde, marche. Rapidement, quickly. Rapidement. Tout le monde, arrête. Excusez-moi. Tout le monde dit bonjour. Tout le monde dit au revoir. Tout le monde dit, everybody say, hein, tout le monde dit bonjour. Tout le monde marche rapidement. Arrête. Tout le monde marche lentement. And you can, oh my gosh, I'm seeing the slowest class here ever. You guys are moving so slowly, hein, lentement. Asseyez-vous lentement. Exactement. Sit down slowly. Levez-vous, and then you can, this half of the class and this half of the class does this. So you can really play with TPR, total physical response. And again, handouts, videos, everything is in my shared Google folder. And then it may be a good time. Yep, here is a picture of the folder. This is, here we go. Teaching Français in School District 73, the QR code to this site is in this little brochure that you should have received. And if you didn't get it, let me know and I'll send you one. So let's get back into our George story. And I review with them the rules, what works and what doesn't work. If you want to learn a language, you have to watch and listen. Regarde et écoute. Quick review of the rules in second class. And this is our story so far. So in this particular group, we've done a lot of work. Il y a un garçon. And I point and say, le garçon est George. Il y a une fille. La fille est Paula la pizza. George est grand. Paula la pizza est petite. Oui, c'est ça. So I would have the students, I would read it to them. We would choral read it. They could read it to their buddies. They could read it to their best friend in the palm of your hand. Um, go over it once or twice, not more than 3 times. Definitely, again, move on before it gets boring. But we have repeated, we are now established where we are, and here is our brand new slide. And since I'm still not having an audience, no hard feelings, it's okay. I know you guys are busy. I'm going to um, pretend somebody is answering. Alors, classe. Madame, il est en Californie. Oh, classe. Il est en Californie. What could mean the word Californie? Yes, California. Il means he, yeah. Il est, he is California, so en must mean in. Exactly. So making sure comprehension is super clear. Il est en Californie. We're not using any of their brain cells for translation or holding on, or we don't want to elevate their anxiety. In the lingo, it's called their affective filter. The affective filter is the feelings and emotions that can get in the way of learning. So if I'm anxious, if I'm worried, if I don't understand, if I have a whole conversation going on in my head about how smart or stupid I am not able to use that part of my brain to actually learn. So we want to keep that affective filter really low, and that can start with making sure it's absolutely clear they know what we're talking about. Il est en Californie means he is in California. So before I continue, I want to quickly show this. This is a form that I have. Oh, and it's not showing very well. This is a form I created um, for my prep. And it too is in that shared district French folder. And it allows me to prep what is it I'm going to use in this class? What is my target vocabulary that I want to be ready for? If the students have a better idea than what's here, go with that. But in case we have one of those not so creative days, then use this. So you can find this prep form in um, shared district French resources. Alors, classe, back to pretending here. Classe, il est en Californie. Oh, classe, oui, madame. Il est en Californie? Oui. Oui, il est en Californie. Classe, oui, madame. Il est en Afrique? Non, 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 naturellement, il n'est pas en Afrique, il est en Californie. Classe? Oui, madame. Il est en Californie ou en Afrique. Now, ooh is a word we already worked on last week. So I would go to the poster where I wrote this down. Say, ooh means or, huh? Il est en Californie ou en Afrique. Oui, il, il n'est pas en Afrique. Il est en Californie. Classe. Oui, madame. Il est en Alaska. Non, naturellement, hein, c'est ridicule, c'est ridicule. That's ridiculous, hein, ridicule, ridiculous. C'est ridicule. Il n'est pas en Alaska, il est en Californie. Why do I pronounce the T here, you may ask? Because usually, il est gentil, il est grand, il est petit. The T is usually not pronounced. But because here we have an E on and a vowel, we pronounce it so it becomes smooth. It's that liaison, that connection. Il est temps, il est temps. It's pronounced so it's not il est en. You hear how choppy that is? Il est en, super choppy French. They will sacrifice their grandmothers to make their language smooth. Really, they do. They sacrifice everything, even their grammar. Alors, il est en Californie. Oui, classe. Il est en Californie. Classe? Oui, madame. Ooh, ooh. And here we have a little accent on top. So we're asking for, you're right, where? Où est George? En Californie, oui, George est en Californie. Classe? Oui, madame. Qui, ouh, qui est en Californie? George, oui, naturellement, naturally, naturellement, George, il est en Californie. Classe, oui, madame. George est en Afrique? Non, non, George n'est pas en Afrique. George est en Californie. Classe, oui, madame. Il est en Colombie-Britannique. Ooh, that's a big new word, huh? We don't understand. Colombie-Britannique. What could that be? Britannique, British, Colombie, Columbia, British Columbia. Ah, classe! Il est en Colombie-Britannique? Non, non, Georges n'est pas en Colombie-Britannique. Il est en Californie. Bravo, naturellement. Il est en Californie. Classe, Beyoncé est en Californie? Non, Beyoncé n'est pas en Californie. Elle est, je ne sais pas, I don't know. Où est Beyoncé? Où, where, où est Beyoncé? And you can take suggestions. Oh, Beyoncé est en Floride, in Florida, en Floride. Oh, wow, classe. Beyoncé est en Floride, oui. Et George, où est George? En Californie. Oui, George est en Californie. Classe? Oui, madame. Où est George? En Californie ou en Afrique? En Californie, oui, il est en Californie. Et classe, Paula la pizza, où est Paula la pizza? Where is Paula the pizza? Huh? Où est? And again, take suggestions. Oh, Paula la pizza est en Afrique. Paula la pizza est en Alaska. Paula la pizza est en Ontario. Paula la pizza est en Colombie-Britannique. You can take the funner, the better. Okay. And of course, if they go about beyond your vocabulary, so if they say on the moon, then you say, oh, yeah, that would be fun, but no. She's not on the moon, and go back into French. You don't have to tell them you don't know how to say moon, huh? La lune. So don't ever admit to not knowing something, okay? Just fake it. Unless you have to. Um, alors, oui, Paula la pizza est, let's say she is in Colombie-Britannique. Let's use our own province. Donc, alors, George est en Californie. Paula la pizza est en Colombie-Britannique. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Alors, classe, où, où est Paula la pizza? Everybody has to do the ooh, huh? It's like looking for her. That reminds us to make the accent because without the accents, it's either or. It's or. With the accent, it's where. Alors, classe, où est Paula la pizza? En Colombie-Britannique, c'est ça. Paula la pizza est en Colombie-Britannique. Et qui est en Californie? George, oui, naturellement. George est en Californie. Classe, Paula la pizza est grande ou petite? Elle est petite, oui. Paula la pizza est petite. Et classe, où est Paula la pizza? Paula la pizza est en Colombie-Britannique. And you see, I keep shuffling and shuffling and shuffling. And now I am going into asking for, I'm going to into triangling. Okay. Triangling. Okay. So you, Sylvie, you are now George, and you're now answering my question in a full sentence. And you are answering as George. Alors, Sylvie George, tu es George, you are George. Sylvie George, tu es en Californie? Oui, je suis en Californie. Oh, tu es en Californie. Classe, elle est en Californie. Okay. I'm not quite sure yet how to handle that. If a girl is George, is she an elle or is she an il? Probably an il. Yeah. Okay, très bien. Let's next person. Marcus George. Marcus George. Uh, où es-tu? Where are you? Où es-tu? Oh, je suis en Californie. Oh, tu es en Californie? Classe, il est en Californie. Oh. Next person. So you keep triangling. You do one more example with Beatrice. Beatrice, tu es George. Beatrice, you are George. Béatrice, tu es Georges. Béatrice, oui, madame. Um, qui est en Californie? Qui est en Californie? Ah, je suis en Californie. Oh, tu es en Californie? Classe, elle est en Californie. Wow. Excellent. And you can keep triangling. You can go, if you're seeing students struggling with certain structures, go back to circlings. Qui est en Californie? Où est George? Où est Paula la pizza? You can have them become Paula the pizza. So for example, Monica becomes Paula the pizza. Monica, Paula the pizza. Où es-tu? Where are you? Où es-tu? And Monica Paula la pizza answers, je suis en Colombie-Britannique. La la la. And so when you feel you can do the asking On a scale from 1 to 5, 5 fingers meaning I got this in my sleep. One is I'm totally lost. I have no idea what's going on. Show me where you're at. And that gives you feedback about how much more practice they need, how much more circling you need, how much more triangling we need before we go into describe the situation. So, la classe, we now have quite a story. Our story is il y a un garçon. Le garçon est George. George est grand et il est en Californie. Il y a, and you could even go back on the slides to um, help them a little bit. Il y a une fille, la fille est Paula la pizza. Paula la pizza est petite. Elle est en Colombie-Britannique. So we have, this is quite a chunk of language. If students can't do the whole thing, il y a, keep it to il est en, George est en Californie, Paula la pizza est en Colombie-Britannique. That, you could just leave it at that. Or, il est en Californie, elle est en Colombie-Britannique, il est grand, elle est petite. That's it. So you could, you're going to tell this story now to the palm of your hand. Tell the palm of your hand what's happening in your story. You have 20 seconds to tell your story. Il y a un garçon, il est en Californie, il est George, il est grand, Paula la pizza, est petite, etc., etc. And I'm just seeing, I'm having an audience. Bonjour, bonjour, bienvenue. Did you just join us? Okay, can't hear you. I'm just wrapping it up, but hold on. I'm happy to do it with you, and I'm just finishing the recording. So yeah, and you have students describe the situation. You pick on your pick on is not the right word, but you will engage your fast processors first. The kids who are really quickly at picking this up, they can describe the situation. You can then have them tell the situation to each other. You want to get at least 5 or 6, even 7 kids in who describe the situation of George. And that is your week. You could then introduce the exit ticket. And where is my exit ticket? Well, you see it here. That too is available on the Shared District French Resources. Here they fill in Je m'appelle, they just write down their name. And then you could give them 5 true or false questions. Correct? Faux. Correct or fault or wrong. So the first question could simply be, of course, look at your own sheet. Don't look left or right. Give me your best answer. Is it correct when I say il y a un garçon? And of course they say, yeah, that's correct. Oui, il y a un garçon. Numéro un. Numéro deux. Il y a un crocodile. Il y a un crocodile. Is there a crocodile? No, there's no crocodile in our story. C'est faux. Numéro 3. Il y a une fille. La fille est Paula la pizza. Correct. Oui, that's correct. Numéro 4. Paula la pizza est grande. Paula la pizza est grande? No, Paula la pizza is small. Petite. Faux. That's wrong. Très bien. Last question. Georges est en Californie. That's correct. And that's their exit ticket out of the class. And that's it. If you have a few moments, ask them these questions. What made it comprehensible, understandable? What did we do to make it easy to understand? What did we do to give you a sense of you're safe, you're supported here? And lastly, what made it interesting? And why are we asking these questions? You don't have to ask them after every class, but it helps them maybe appreciate more what it is you're doing and how hard you are working at the front of the class. So yeah, okay, so that actually made it interesting. That helps me learn. Oh, when I feel supported and I'm not put on the spot, that helps me learn. Oh, when I understand the message, That helps me learn. So they're becoming, it's a bit of a meta step you can take once in a while. Why am I doing what I'm doing, basically? And you have them answer that question. Alors, that's it for slide number 2. I'm going to turn off the recording, and Madame Bailey, I'm happy to um, chat with you some more. Stop the recording. Voila. Okay. Bonjour, Madame Bailey. And I can't hear you. You are completely mute. Nope. 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 Oh, oh, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. It's usually me. Try that again. No, my volume is at 94 out of 100. Huh. Did you just say something? Did I just heard a click in the line? Could you say something? No, it's not working. Oh, darn. Okay. Um, why is it not? Because I see you. Um, pause recordings.